restoration to the Second Powers podcast, where we're living life with no walls. Today, you will be hearing the teachings of our spiritual guide, Regina L. Stillman. If you'd like to learn more about the fellowship, check out our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/restoration2. Also, if you'd like to make a donation, go to givelify.com and look for us at Restoration 2 or Cash App us at $R2Power. Now, everybody, throw your twos up and let's get lifted. Ho!
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I am so glad that you thought it well to join us on this fine day. This is Sunday afternoon, and we are going to get lifted on today. I want to thank everybody that came in the room. Appreciate those that are yet on the way and those that will watch this after we have completed this broadcast and watch it on demand. I am so happy to have you with me on today. I never take it lightly when you stop. Take the time to just drop in and chat with me in the spiritual realm. And we specifically talk about the things of the spirit on this afternoon broadcast. So I want to thank you again for coming in. It's not by accident, but I feel like there's always divine assignment and divine appointment for those that come up in this house at the 2:00 hour. So we appreciate you. I'm so glad to see Brother Harvey, the Harvey 1952. Good to see you, sir. Sheila Miles, thank you for dropping in. I'm always happy and thrilled to have you in the house with us. The Rebel Inc. literally just got off from broadcasting. I tell you, that 9:00 broadcast is off the chain. The Church of Funk. Listen, it is spiritual. It is flowing. It's doing what it does. Do what it do. And I'm just so happy for the Rebel Inc. You're doing a beautiful job. God bless you. And I know you're tired. Mother been going. It's supposed to end at 12:00, honey. Y'all see the hour is 2:00. And I think she had to actually cut them off because they were still going on this fine day. But I love that. I love that. And I want the Church of Funk. I want the Rebel Inc. to just flourish. I want you to blossom. I want you to continue to do well. Heat is in the house, people. Heat is up in here. Good afternoon, Heat. I'm so glad to have you all the way from Toronto, Canada. You're my girl. You know that you are. And I appreciate you for coming in. Jams JJ, you all over the place. Girl, I just don't know. I just don't know about you. You are everywhere. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. But I appreciate you for jumping in this afternoon to hear what your spiritual thought leader has to say to those of you all that want to hear it. Sheila, I'm so glad to see you. It's always a blessing. And I know y'all was over there in Church of Funk having it up. Y'all was just funking it up. Can't get enough of that funky stuff. And I love it. I absolutely love it. BTD Mom, it's good to see you as well. The pollen and the mold count is real high. So y'all have to excuse me. I may have to stop every now and then, get a little something so I can clear my throat. It wants to get all up in my throat. Not my throat, in my throat. Oh, good, James JJ. I'm so glad that you're woke now. You got your cup of coffee, was waking you up earlier. And you're in the midst. You're one of those beautiful people. You're right there with us in the family. I love every last one of you. I know others are on their way, but we're going to go ahead and get ready to flow in what I want to share, what's on my heart to share with you on today. Again, I appreciate what the Rebel Inc. is doing. Let me get everything running here and we'll move on to the flow. I know you all are having a beautiful day because I surely am. I'm enjoying every second of the day, and I'm enjoying you and what God is doing. We got everything running. I want to make sure I got all my channels running. All right. Now, I really want to kind of talk to you today. And I know I say this every week. Somebody told me, you keep saying you're just going to talk and then you go in and you go to another realm. But I really, what can I say? It just comes over me. But today I really do want to convey some things to you that I feel are really critical for this hour. There's so much change and there's so much transition that's going on right now. There's a reason for that. I believe, these are not the worst of times. I feel like the best of times are about to birth out of this. You'll understand better why I'm saying that in just a minute. But out of pain, there is so much that is birthed out of pain. And if we would just hold on till tomorrow and know that everything's going to be all right. But I don't just want you to hold on. I want you to become pregnant with expectation. I want you to have expectation in your heart and in your spirit like you've never had before, because there's some awesome things that are getting ready to happen in the earth realm all over the world, United States, in all the countries. I don't even have to name them off, but in all the countries, we're getting ready to see something now that we've never seen before. And this is the blessing of it, is for this hour and for this very time. It's almost like the universe. It's like God said, I'm going to wait for this precise moment. And I'm going to have some people that are really able to tap into their spiritual being, their spiritual selves and their spiritual relationship, and really have relationship, not just religion, but to really have a deep seated and very meaningful relationship with God. Understanding that God is in you, the hope of glory, and not so much we keep telling you all of this external whoop whoop. I want you to start going inward, because God is in you. He has placed greatness, seeds of greatness that abide and reside in every last one of us. And so this today, I hope, is to help you to tap into that. I was talking to someone on the other day and I said, you know what? If you really are paying attention inwardly, you're probably starting to sense things, feel things. As we say in our jargon, there's a spiritual awakening that's going on inside of you, where you're seeming to be connected to other people. You're feeling things that you've never felt before. All of your senses are alive. You've come into a whole nother place of existence. It's no more getting up and going to bed as usual, but there's something that is beginning to happen down on the inside, and you sense it and you're very aware of it. You're aware of other people around you. I had a friend that called, or actually she texted me the other day, and she was like, basically, what's going on with you? And of course there was something going on, but I was good. But I told her, you're on point, because you're picking up. You are picking it up. I'm thankful that on the 16th of this month, it was 25 years that I survived a fatal where passenger in my car was killed. People were maimed, head injury. It was just a very, very traumatic experience. And it doesn't even seem like it's been 25 years. And I had a beautiful day. But you know how sometimes when you've had traumas like that can occur in your life, you'll have, that time and that season. So my girl, she texted me. She said, I'm feeling you. And so I told her, I said, girl, you're right on point. I'm good, but you're feeling right. I mean, she was just like, I don't know, all day today, I just been picking you up all day today. I just been picking you up. And that's a beautiful thing about God and the Spirit. And people that are connected to the Spirit, they don't necessarily have to know what's going on in your world, but they can feel you. And what I'm saying to you as well, you're going to start coming into a place where you're going to start feeling and sensing things that other people are going through, because we are all spiritual. Everybody is spiritual. The thing that I was saying to someone else in conversation, I said, this is a time where situations, whether it's COVID-19, whether we're looking at George Floyd, or whatever the case may be, all of these things are helping to drive us back to our spirituality. We can be so encumbered and so busy with so many things that are going on in the world that we almost desensitize ourselves to our spiritual self. But your spiritual self is there. It's waiting. It's politely saying, when you acknowledge me, when you tune into me, it's almost like a radio station. If I can talk about frequency from that level, just like a radio station back in the day, because we don't have a lot of radio stations that we listen to anymore with the advent of the internet. But you all know back in the day, you had to tune that dial in just so, otherwise you would get static, and you might be close to it and you could kind of hear what they were talking about, or you could kind of hear the song, but it still was not the same until you got right on it. You had to just keep adjusting that dial until all the static and all of that extra was gone so that you could hear very clearly. That's the way your spirit operates. You have that frequency. You have that God frequency. You have that spiritual frequency that when you have a lot of clutter and you're not exactly on the channel, there can be different things that are coming up in your life. And instead of really fine tuning it, you find yourself, usually what happens, the static would come the farther you got off of wherever the station really was, where you needed to be. If you started going away from the station, you could tell, because the sound and the static would increase and the clarity of what was going on that channel became less and less clear because of your distance and you getting off of the frequency and getting farther and farther away from the frequency. I want to tell you that the same is true in the spirit realm. So start thinking about your spirit from the perspective of, am I tuned in, or am I getting off of my frequency? Whenever you get sucked in by other people coming at you, pulling you off your frequency, sometimes that energy that they're bringing is not the energy that puts you in frequency, on your frequency, not somebody else's frequency, but on your frequency, on your home dial. I want you to become more and more aware of that, because you being tuned and fine-tuned to your frequency is really what's going to make the difference between my word for today and continuing on in this same format. Now, I want you to understand this. I want you to recognize, hey, Weest, good to see you, man. So good to see you. Thank you for coming in. That's it, Sheila. Dial in, dial in. The nations are dialing in, and we can rejoice on that. We can rejoice about that, because I do believe that there's a coming together that's getting ready to happen. And as we all get tuned in and fine-tuned to our own frequencies, that's going to allow us to blend and come together with everybody else on the universal humanitarian frequency. And I think that's the problem. When too many of us are off our frequency and you can't hear your own frequency clearly, then you surely cannot come together for that one song and that one unison. And when I say unison, I'm saying the same song, harmony. Y'all know I love music. Everything about my body, everything about my mind, everything about my flow is always about music. Well, harmony, whether it's dissonance, because it's not going to always match, but even if it doesn't match exactly, dissonance does resolve. So that by the time you give, and dissonance is good. Sometimes you want that music right there at that particular point to kind of rub you, because you're going for a certain effect. When you get that dissonance resolved and you get it back to where the flow is, it will have accomplished. There's a purpose for dissonance. Yes, there's a purpose for dissonance. At the end of the day, even if we look at notes, every note is nothing but a frequency. A is the same frequency every time. What name the notes, go right on down. All of those notes are exact frequencies. And whenever you hit that frequency, that's the note that you get. So I want us to understand we're all notes. We all bring something to the song of love, to the song of humanity. It is really incumbent upon you to get into that spiritual space so that you can get on your note. Hit your note. Hit that note. Don't hit that note, Twinkie. Don't hit that note. Y'all know how Mr. Clean used to do. If you hit that note, I'm going to dance. Well, that's almost how it is. When you hit your note, you will dance. When you hit your note, you will become excited. When you hit your note, you will know it. Other people may not understand it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, stay on your note. And then when we bring all the notes together, oh my God, the song that we're getting ready to sing in the earth, we've never heard it before. We've never seen it before. So I want you to understand spirituality from that standpoint, because this is a season and a time, and all of this dissonance that's currently going on the earth is really to help us get on our note and bring this song forth. So that being said, as I said before, it came to me when all of this started. Some people are going to sing or are going to see, oh my God, COVID-19. We just can't go any further, or all of the social discord that seems to be going on. They're going to see that as a block. And as I've said to you time and time again, since all of this started in this session, do not see it as a roadblock. I want you to see this as a bridge. This season that we're in right now is a bridge so that we can cross over. Now, I want you to be clear on some things here as well. Everybody is not going to go over the bridge right now. Some are not going to go over the bridge, period. They're going to refuse to go. They're going to stay back in that. We've been talking about new wine and old wine. You can't put new wine in old skins. There are people that are going to want to stay in those old skins. We want to keep it status quo the way it's always been. We don't want any transition. We don't want any change. We want to stay right here. But listen, right here is not where it's at. Right here is not where the move of the Spirit is right now. I need you to understand that very clearly. There's a reason why, even with the four walls of a church, that was shut down to create something different, because that four walls of the church is no longer where it's at. And there are those that when we come out of sheltering at home, when we come out of COVID-19 and go into post-COVID-19, some folk are still going to try to stay on this side. And I want you to understand that that's okay. But I'm really not speaking to you today. I'm speaking to folks that are ready to cross over the bridge. Now, understand this as well. Everybody's not going to cross the bridge at the same time. So some of us are going to be the apostolic. Some of us are going to be the trailblazers. Some of us are going to be some of the first ones to cross over, because we've tuned into our spirituality. We found our note. And we also understand I'm not just singing a one note song. I recognize that I got to find FACE. I need to find everybody that's in the chord. I need the 1-3-5. I need the 1-3-5-7. I need the 1-3-5-7-9. I need whatever it needs to bring together to make this song the most beautiful song that it will ever have been since the existence of the world. I'm telling you, there's something that is getting ready and is birthing into. We talk about a change is going to come. Change is on us right here. But change is going to be really, really spearheaded by people that understand the word that I want to share on today. That word is exponential. Now, you know, even as far as the ministry, we've gone to a whole nother level. And I just want to talk slowly if I can. And I know y'all say, honey, every time you say that, you tune it up and be going. But listen, I'm gonna really try to act right today, y'all. I'm gonna try my best to act right today, because I want you to get this. Some of us need to have total clarity about what is happening, and it's happening everywhere. It's not just in the United States. It's happening everywhere. For those that are ready to break out of the box, for those that are ready to cross the bridge and go into a whole nother level of existence in harmony and in unity together, understanding each other, loving one another, supporting one another. So I really feel like this is something that is on the horizon. And so I want you to understand exponential. As I talk about exponential, I'm going to be coming today from First Chronicles, the 4th chapter, verses 9 and 10. First Chronicles, the 4th chapter, verses 9 and 10. I'm going to begin reading the 9th verse. Now, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I bore him in pain. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from all evil, that I may not cause pain. So God granted him what he requested. And I want to emphasize that. So God granted him what he requested. And that is our scripture text that I want to use today for this thought of exponential. And the people of the Lord said, amen. Now, I want you to understand something. Jabez literally means pain. Jabez literally means will cause pain. Oh my God. So many times, people have really, let's sing the prayer of Jabez. Let's pray the prayer of Jabez. Well, let's deal with the first part of that reality. And that is it will cause pain. Regina, why are you saying that? Because I want you to understand 2020 has been the prayer of Jabez manifesting. And the mother, the spirit of parenting, understood we cannot have anything until we go through the pain. So I'm going to call him Jabez. And so his name literally means will cause pain. There's some significance to that because I think so many of us can identify with 2020 that this has been a year that has caused straight up pain. I'm not one of those that says bury your head in the sand and act like this didn't happen, act like that didn't happen, and you didn't get knocked off your square. There were some things that happened this year that knocked us off of our squares, y'all. I mean, it was some stuff we hadn't even thought about, had not dreamed of. Who knew a pandemic would come? Who knew that so many other things that have happened in our personal lives would occur? Even in all of this that has transacted, I look back and I say, oh my God. And I'm still this week, there was a dear friend of mine passed away from COVID. Pain. I'm looking at his family. I'm looking at his wife. I'm looking at his children and all of his nieces and nephews and extended family. Pain. I understand it. Our family, we've gone through pain. So many have experienced Jabez showing up on the scene this year in the year 2020. But at the same time, I feel my help coming. I said I was going to act right, but something done started happening. At the same time, I begin to realize it is a reality that through the pain, there has come the ability, just like Jabez, to say, listen, I'm not going to be limited and restricted where my total focus is on nothing but the pain. I'm going to pray a prayer that's going to transcend pain. Are y'all hearing me? I'm going to pray a prayer that is going to go above. It doesn't matter the fact that my name, even in essence of it, literally means will cause pain. I'm not going to be stopped by that. I'm going to pray a prayer that's going to say, listen, God, I know that there's some things that are going to happen and Jabez is going to show up. Yes, it will cause pain, but I'm going to go beyond that. And I'm going to realize that I can say, God, bless me indeed. Yes, bless me indeed. And I'm not just going to stay in the borders of will cause pain, but enlarge my territory. I'm not going to limit and restrict myself to the negative. I'm not going to limit. And when I say negative, please understand the pain, it hurts us. It's not negative that we had to go through pain. But what I'm saying is this, the pain is going to get me somewhere, but I'm not just going to limit my total existence to the labeling of pain. I'm not just going to limit my existence and my mindset, my energy. I'm not going to allow that to be confined just within the borders of will cause pain, because I believe that there's something that's greater. Oh my God. I believe that there's something that's better. I believe that there's a brighter day. I believe that there is ability to really begin to go outside of the borders. Pain got me here. Pain blessed me, but there's a blessing that's greater than pain. There's a blessing that comes. And I said this before, even if you're going to birth a baby into this world, understand that baby is going to come here after you've gone through some pain. So I want you to understand the purpose of the pain was never to take you out. The purpose of the pain was never to limit and restrict you. The purpose of the pain is identifying for you. You are now pushing into your next level. You're pushing into your next level. Now, when I think about that, oh my God, I start thinking about what happened. Now, listen, some of you, I want to get your mind, and the word for today is exponential. Exponential. You know, we said restoration. We're going restoration to the second power. We're going restoration exponentially, because it's not just 1 + 1 = 2, but let's square that thing. Let's cube that thing. Let's go to the fourth, to the fifth. Let's go on to other dimensions exponentially, because you know how exponents work. So I'm not even going to go back through that. But I want you to understand, what are you saying, Regina? I want you to understand that Jabez had a seed. Jabez had a seed that said, listen, I recognize that my name may literally mean will cause pain, but I'm going to put a seed into the ground that says, God, I just want you to bless me, and I want you to bless me indeed by enlarging my territory. So let's look at this thing. If I'm going to look back and pull out a story, I want to talk about Abraham and Sarah, because the seed that you have to plant is faith. The seed that you have to plant is belief that God is going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think. So let's take Abraham and Sarah. They wanted a baby. And listen, every Jewish woman of that time, it was very important to them. As a matter of fact, it was almost like, I'm cursed if I can't have a baby. And it would be just like Jabez said, I'm cursed. Mama named me something that had me limited to pain. Listen, no. There is no curse on you. There's no negativity in your life that you cannot overcome, exceed, and excel. And sometimes it's here to allow you the opportunity to show, where is your faith in God? I see Abraham and Sarah, and they're barren. They don't have any children. And so from her perspective, now when we start talking about, listen, Abraham and Sarah, they were past the years. Listen, menopause had already set in. And I tell you, he might have been like some old folks said, listen, it's snow on the rooftop, but there's fire in the furnace. But even with his fire in the furnace, Sarah was like, I'm beyond having babies at this point. So she says, listen, let me go get my handmaid, and you have some babies under her. But God said, no, I wasn't just talking about you trying to have something through a means that you created. I want you to step back and have faith in me. I already told you I'm going to enlarge your territory, Sarah. I already told you I'm going to bring you something. And so can you imagine what she felt like when everybody else is having a Lamaze class? Can you imagine what she felt like when everybody else was having their identity of what kind of child am I? And I'm bringing this in today's time because listen, some of the young folk listen to me. They don't know anything about all this other stuff that we talk about in olden days. So yeah, we're going to have a gender release party. And can you imagine how Sarah and Abraham are feeling when they see everybody else participating, when they see everybody else having children, when they see everybody else having baby showers, when they see everybody else go and come on, husband, let's go through our Lamaze class and learn how to breathe. They didn't get to do any of that. So can you imagine? And I'm speaking to somebody because some of you have started to doubt. Some of you have started to say, I'm just going to settle for mediocre. Some of you have started to say, I'm just going to settle for anything because even at my age, it's not going to happen. Age is just a number, because I want you to understand that, listen, if you're talking about 100-year-old man and a 90-year-old woman, and they go in there and make some whoopee and come out with a baby, don't tell me God isn't able to do it. It took faith just to even come up with the idea to try it again. But they did. And guess what? When that seed came forth, when that baby came forth, and I'm talking to you, those of you, again, who have gotten into this idea, it's not going to happen for you. And then again, for those of you that know you're starting to move into your spiritual realm, I want to take you to another level, because what God is doing at this time, because he's doing a quick work. He's doing a mighty work. He's doing a work that's bringing this thing to pass in a very, very fast way. He's doing it expeditiously and he's doing it exponentially. I want you to understand the God that we serve, his economy is exponential. And so he said, listen, I'm moving in this hour at the speed of light because God is light. Everybody that's rolling in him is rolling in light. He said, no, I'm not doing that slow mamby-pamby stuff anymore. I want you to understand I'm doing it exponentially. The blessings that I have for you are exponential. The things that you're getting ready to do in life are exponential. Everything that's going to touch your life and everything that you're going to touch is going to be exponential. I want you to start bringing yourself into the place where you understand God is saying to you today, as you move into this realm of the spirit, I want you to move and believe in my economy, which is exponential. I want you to begin to move and believe in what I have in my possessions and know that it's exponential. I want you to understand I'm able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think, according to the power that's working in you. So listen, I want you to know if God tells you to start a business, he's going to bless you to do it exponentially. If he says, listen, there's a blessing on your children, I'm going to allow it to be a blessing on them exponentially. They're not just going to be your next Joe Blow. God said, my hand is on them. And what you're going to begin to see them move in is going to be exponential. You have no idea what God can do with just one seed. The Bible talks about how a mustard seed can go and that little bitty tiniest of seed can grow up into a great and mighty tree. I want you to understand that's the exponential anointing that's on your life right now. That's the exponential anointing. Now, this is what I want you to know. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And for the negative reaction that we've seen in the land right now, and it looks like everything's going to hell in a handbasket. It looks like everything's going to pot. It looks like everything is the worst we've ever seen. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So for the negativity, I want you to know there's a positivity on the other side that's getting ready to manifest itself exponentially. You have no idea what God is going to do with the seed of greatness that's in you. And yes, beloved, my brother and my sister, there are seeds of greatness that God put in you from the foundation of the world. You're not here by accident, but God said, I'm going to allow you to be alive in the year 2020 because there is greatness in you that I need you to manifest in the year 2020 and beyond. There is great, not the next person, not him and her. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. I want you to understand there's a greatness in you that God said, I want you to not be inundated. I need you not to be discouraged. I need you not to be disillusioned by Jabez and the pain. Yes, it will cause pain, but what's going to come out of your seed? What's going to come out of your loins? What's going to come out of your mind? What's going to come out of your spirit? What's going to come out of your energy? What's going to come out of your good heart? What's going to come out of your love? What's going to come out of your compassion? What's going to come out of your caring? What's going to come out of you? Ooh, oh my God, it's going to be exponential. Don't worry. And yes, this is the thing. There has been a season where it seemed like you could not conceive. You knew what you wanted, but it seemed like you couldn't conceive it. But I want you to know it's coming. I want you to understand that it's coming. I need you to take that seed of faith and I need you to really release it from the standpoint because the beauty of God, that's why I told you at the very beginning, I want you to tune in to your station. I want you to tune into your channel. I want you to tune into your spirituality because what seems impossible to man is possible with God. And it's in you. Do you hear me talking to you? I'm not talking to your neighbor. I'm talking to you. It's in you. Yes, it is. And you can choose at this hour to cross the bridge and come over to the other side, or you can stay over here drinking that old wine. You can stay over here eating that old bread. But I'm telling you, there's no life in it. It won't feed you. I want the people that are, and if I can convince somebody to cross over today, I want to convince you. I want the people that are tempted to stay on this side. And what is it that causes you to be tempted to stay? It's comfortable. You understand it over here. Well, I'm not even going to say that. You really don't understand it, but you've become comfortable, familiar. And crossing that bridge takes you into an unknown land. Crossing that bridge takes you into territory that you know nothing about. The United States is getting ready to cross that bridge, and love is going to win. Let me tell you, love, God is going to win. Not religiosity, but God is going to win. And so at the end of the day, compassion and all the things that are God, that's what is getting ready to happen. And it took pain. It took Jabez to get us here. Oh my God. Is anybody hearing me? And when we look at all of the years that it seems like, oh, y'all been saying that a long time. Y'all been saying that forever. But I'm here to tell you, in 2020, we said 2020 was the year of clear vision. And it took all of these different things to manifest so that we could see clearly what before had been confused, disillusioned, lied about. But the truth has come out with clarity and manifestation. And so now God is saying, now that we see it clearly for what it is, now it's time for the sons and daughters of God to manifest. And I need you to manifest in the same likeness as God, exponential. His economy is exponential. His blessings, exponential. His love, exponential. And it took all of that to get us here. Don't be like Abraham and Sarah when you get in the waiting, that holding pattern, where that holding pattern has caused you that level of, okay, let's just be mediocre. Let's just be so-so. Let's just settle. Let's just accept it is what it is. No, it's not. I want you to wake up the lion. I've been preaching on that for the last few weeks. Wake up the lion in you and go to your jungle and roar. If your plan and your thought has been to get out of debt, get out of debt. Start paying off stuff. Wrap it up. Because when you cross the bridge, you're not trying to cross it with a whole bunch of baggage. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And it would seem that in 2020, how am I going to do it? And everything in the economy is negative. Listen, I'm telling you, God will allow you to do what you need to do exponentially. I want you to get that down in your shando. Exponential. God has not forgotten about you. You did hear what he told you to do. Some of you are in that place of questioning. Did I hear God right? Maybe I didn't understand what he told me to do. Maybe, no, you heard him correctly. Go back and get that baby. Go back and get that dream. It may not be the way that you thought it was going to manifest. So many times God speaks to us. We create in our mind what we think and how he's going to do it and the way he wants to do it. He may be coming from the east and you keep thinking in your mind it's from the west. He said, listen, just let me be God and you just trust me. You just believe me. You just have faith in me. But believe that the work I'm getting ready to do in you now is a quick work and I'm going to do it exponentially. Doesn't matter if nothing's been happening up to this point. 2020, I'm telling you, is the year. Stop lowering your expectations about your life and what God has for you. I need you to understand purely the seed, just like that small mustard seed, is going to bring forth a tree in abundance. Exponentially. I need you to see it and understand it exponentially. Everything about God. I say it like this so many times when we try to think, is this God? Is this anytime you're talking about multiplication and addition, God is moving. When you start dealing with subtraction and division, the spirit of the adversary loves to divide. We've seen so much division in this country. But I'm telling you, out of pain, Jabez, out of the pain of division, we're going to see a unity we've never seen before exponentially. And he's going to use you to do it. Am I talking to anybody here today? So I'm going to tell you, almost like God told Adam and Eve in the very beginning, be fruitful and multiply. And how do I want you to be fruitful? Exponentially. How do I want you to multiply? Exponentially. You have no idea what God is going to do with your single seed of faith and belief and reliance and trust that says, I'm going to cross this bridge. I'm not going to stay on this side. I'm not going to be complacent. I'm not going to settle. I'm going to get me up and cross this bridge to do what God's called me to do exponentially. The day of waiting on everybody else is over. I just don't know how much I can stress that. Somebody was always waiting on somebody else to do it, when really it's up to us. Do not put it off on somebody else. The exponential work that's ready to spring forth is going to come through each one of us getting up and getting busy. Doesn't matter if you didn't see anything. God was still up to something, and he's still working. And all he wants us to do, just go ahead and yield yourselves to be available. You need somebody to love. I posted something. I reposted. I should really say, I reposted. Somebody said, I love you. And you're asking and wondering, how can I say I love you when I don't know you? But if people can hate and not know you, I can love and not know you. And that's a word. If people can hate and not know you, I can love and not know you. So some of us been looking at that seed in the ground. It's like, it's not going to happen. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. The Bible says, except a seed fall into the ground and die, it can't bring forth. But when it gets in the ground and dies, and gets the nutrition and everything that it needs, and it has to be covered over. Oh, you feel like you've been covered with dirt. You feel like life has just covered you in dirt. You're just a seed that's going to fall into the ground. And when you die to the idea that I'm limited to Jabez, all I'm about is pain. Everything in my life is pain. Whenever I try to move, it's pain. Whenever I think I'm going to get better, it's pain. And I can't get outside of that boundary. Enlarge my territory. That's what Jabez said. I'm not going to be restricted and limited to a mentality of pain with no gain. My pain has gain attached to it. Am I talking to anybody? My pain has gain attached to it. Somebody said a long time ago, no scars, no stars. And I'm not just trying to be flip and say a bunch of cliche stuff, because that's what's got people torn up and hurt and wounded right now. But I promise you that as the God I serve is alive and able, he wants you to embrace the reality of your exponential life. He doesn't want you to just be par and subpar. Now unto him, I keep saying that over and over again, that scripture, now unto him that's able to do exceedingly abundantly above everything you could ask or think. God wants to show up greatly for you. He wants to show up greatly for the world, for the United States. He wants us to be able to come together and have a different existence. I need you to hear this word of exponential. Stop leaving it at the base level. Stop leaving it at the base level. Square it, cube it to the 4th, to the 5th, to the 10th power. Just keep letting it run as far, because God is not limited. The only limitation is your perspective. The only limitation is your mind. The only limitation is you. God is able to do anything through you that you're willing to allow him to do. There's nothing that's too great. There's nothing that's too hard. But I need you to now move into an exponential economy of thinking. I need your perspective, your ideas, your thought realm to come out of the base level and go to the exponential level. That's where I need you to go, so you can see God moving, so you can see things happening. When I let go and I let God have his way, that's when things start happening. That's when things start happening. That's when things started happening. And not just at a base level, but exponentially, you'll begin to see God move and exceed beyond your expectation, beyond your wildest dreams, if you'll just let it be in your mind. Take the limits off and let's go exponential in the power that God has. And not only the power that God has, but the power he has to work through you. Go outside the box. Enlarge my territory. Those unmet expectations, God's ready to work. What have you done? What have you done? What plan have you made? Because my father used to always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. What have you done to set this in motion? Write the vision, make it plain. Do you even have it outlined? Have you even asked, what's my direction? And again, sometimes y'all come out of that old wine and that old wine skin and that old bread. That bread is stale. That bread's been stale. It's crusty, musty, and molded. And you still trying to eat off of that nasty piece of bread. Give us this day our daily bread. I need fresh bread. If you're still preaching that same manna, if you're still teaching that same manna, if you're still thinking that same manna, that's why manna only lasted in the morning. And then by the time it got later in the day, it just went away, because it's got to be fresh. Otherwise, it would get worms in it. And we've been selling some wormy, old, nasty, musty bread. Got mold all over it. It's a science project. It's not anything to eat anymore. It can't feed you anymore. You can't find life in that anymore. Stop it with the old stuff. Stop it with the old ways. Stop it with the old mentality. Stop it with the foundation of, oh, I'm restricted to the fact that my mama called me Jabez. I can't go no further. It's going to be pain. I'm going to cause pain. Everything in my life is pain. Enlarge my territory. I want you to look up and live. I want you to look up to the sky. And I want you to start seeing when God told Abraham, look up, how many stars do you see in the sky? That's what I'm talking about, exponential. Then he told him to look down under your feet. How many sands, how many grains of sand do you see? Because I'm talking to you about getting your mind beyond the baby that you don't have yet and understand that if you'll just move with me, if you'll just flow with me, move your hips with me, baby, move your hips with me, I will make this thing exponential. The stars in the sky, the sands under your feet. That's how many children you'll have that'll come from your loins, if you just believe it. That one mustard seed of faith to believe God for what he told you, to believe that what God told you was true and that he didn't lie to you. He wasn't toying with your emotions. He wasn't playing games and promising you something that he had no intention of fulfilling. No, baby, he meant to do it and he's going to do it. Just don't measure God by your limited perspective. Don't measure God by your limited ideas. He's bigger than that. He's so much bigger than that. And what you have the ability to produce is beyond your wildest dream. Miracle, breakthrough, blessings, exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever start to ask or think. And that's my word for today. I hope this has blessed you. Exponential. I want you to get that in your mind. Stop looking at things from a base level. What did he say? Abraham, look up. How many stars do you see? Abraham, look down. How much sand do you see? That's what you have the ability to produce from one seed of faith. Am I talking to anybody? That's what I have the ability to produce. Don't matter about Auntie them and Mama them and they don't believe. So what? That ain't got nothing to do with your exponential. The only person that has control of your exponential outcome is you. Am I talking to anybody? Am I talking to anybody? Whew. So I said I was going to slow it down, but I felt something. I felt something. I hope you received what, because listen, I'm telling you, there is a group of us, and I'm not trying to make it limited like, oh, we so special, but no, there's going to be people that we don't know that are going to have tuned into their station, that are going to be spiritual from all different walks of life, from all ethnicities, from all cultures, that are going to be tuned in spiritually to their station. That we're going to write. I believe Weist has been writing a song. Somebody's been writing a song. Right, listen, that same way, God is writing a song right now with every note. But I need you to get on your frequency. Have you ever heard an out of tune guitar, an out of tune piano? It's between frequencies, and it's not. No, I need you to, if you're an A, I need you to be an A. If you're an E, I need you to be an E. If you're a C, I need you to be a C. Don't be between a C and a C sharp. Get on your note. Get on your note. Oh, Jesus. Am I talking to anybody? Because we need a song that works. I was watched Rebel, and I'm closing, but I've watched Rebel even as she's been producing her show and doing an excellent job. But I look at those times when the song is somewhere in between. And she just, hey, she's like, we're going to dance it out. We're going to clap it out. But I can't play to this because something's off. And if I try to play, it's going to be too sour to contain. And that's the thing. I need you to get squarely on your note. I need you to get to your frequency. I need you to get tuned into it, because this song is not going to be sour. It's not going to be something that makes you almost feel like somebody running their nails over a chalkboard. This song is going to be beautiful. This song is going to be powerful. This song is going to be life-changing. Cross the bridge. That's it, James JJ. Cross the bridge. Cross the bridge. Main man, that's it. Get closer. Clear that static up. Clear that static up. James JJ said, act right. Act right. And yes, I'm talking exponentially. Some of you need to take the limits off. You have so constricted and confined yourself, but there's greatness in you. God put greatness in you. The thing is, we listen to so many voices outside of ourselves that try to tell us this way, tell us that way, do this, don't do that, da, 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 da. No, I need you, again, get that spiritual connection, that clarity of vision, that clear voice that's talking to you. Listen, James, through it all, I don't care. I don't care that pain, that suffering, that whatever, that's not the, listen, even a mother knows I'm only going to be in pain for a season until this baby comes forth. This isn't eternal pain. This pain has purpose. This pain is by design to bring forth something, not to be fruitless, but to be fruitful and multiply. Ascending chromatic chords. Come on here. Come on here, Sheila. Talk. Speak to it. And really what Rebel Inc. is doing, even in her production of the music, it's still spiritual. It's that ability to bring those ascending chromatics. It's the ability to whatever direction she's going to go into the major, to go into the minor, whatever direction. But all of it at the end of the day is bringing life, and it's bringing energy. James JJ crossed the bridge through the pain. Come on. The pain, that baby is just coming through the birth canal. Now listen to that, because the baby, if it gets in the birth canal and doesn't finish coming out, we got problems. Houston, there is a problem. And so many times we get, they tell you, push. I need you to push. Push. We can't get hung up in the canal. Cross the bridge. We're coming over by faith. We've already overcome. Yes, we receive it. Thank you for the amen. You have become complacent, some of you. And so you've got to come to another level. Move. Move over. I need you to hear that. Right this moment and in the now. Some of you need to get out of yesterday. Some of you need to get out of last year. I could still be stuck in the 25 years ago. Oh, 25 years ago. Was it traumatic? Yes, it was. Was it devastating? Yes, it was. But at the same time, I have to be able to embrace, adjust, and accept what happened 25 years ago, and I cannot live today from 25 years ago's pain. Am I talking to anybody? Get in the now, in this moment. Accept whatever God allows and understand it's to bring you. to another level. Jabez, yes, I named you that it will cause pain, but you can still, outside of that, enlarge your territory. Baby, you better feel it in your shando. Exponential blessings. Am I talking to anybody? You got a witness, Rhonda. Yes, God. 2020 has definitely been uncomfortable, but it's working for our good. Oh my God, y'all gonna make me start all over again. I just need you to push through the pain. My God, today, push through the pain. Because what's coming out of that is going to be exponential. Do you hear me? Come on, don't y'all mess with me, heat. Heat don't mess. I'm already hot. I'm already heated. I'm already hot under. I feel this thing. I need you to push. No pain, no gain. Your attitude is going to determine your altitude. That's not just speak. That's reality. But I need you to think exponentially. Pray looking up, not down. That even that come outside of that territory. Come outside of your territory. Enlarge my territory. Come on, main man said, I'm a cord. I love it. I'm a cord. See clearly. I hope this has helped you today. And thank you to everybody sharing over here in the chat, because y'all know y'all fire me up. And it doesn't take a whole lot to get me fired up. I'm going to say this one last and again, because I really need you to get this down in your shando. I want you to understand we are being called to cross over the bridge, but we can't do it the same way that we came into it. Hear me. Yes, Jabez, it means it will cause pain, but that pain is to bring us to gain, not to take us out. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So no matter how difficult and how trying it's been this year, it's going to be a blessing and a joy as we go forth in the exponential. And so what's my closing word and my closing thought to you? Exponentially, be fruitful and multiply. Exponentially, be fruitful and multiply. And watch, just sit back and watch 2021 and beyond. Watch what God does through us. Watch what God does in the earth. And you'll understand, Jabez, that causes pain. You'll understand that the prayer all along was that we could enlarge our territory. That's what it was about all along. Do you get it now? Because that's the real deal. As I always say, as we conclude, listen, I want you to have peace for your journey. And my charge to you, I can't say it enough, exponentially be fruitful and multiply. Peace for your journey.